This is the Seminole County Planning and Zoning Commission on December 6, 2023. Tonight we have both the chair and the vice chair are absent from tonight's meeting, and according to our Robert Rules of Order and our adopted bylaws, well, I'm calling the meeting to order, but we actually have to elect who's going to be the chairman tonight. So other than I'm sitting here, I'll volunteer. Is there anybody else wants to volunteer?
No, I'd like to nominate Richard to be chair tonight.
I second the motion.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We proceed. First of all, item is a Pledge of Allegiance, so if you can do so, please rise.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Normally, our board is 7 members, but there's 4 of us here tonight, so we have a quorum and accordingly can conduct business. Those present here tonight, Commissioner Michael Renz to my right, Commissioner Walter Grundorf down on the end, and Commissioner Stephen Smith next to me. Staff present tonight is Rebecca Hammock, Director of Development Services, Desmond Morrell, Senior Assistant County Attorney, Vladimir Development Review Engineering Manager, Tyler Reeds, Senior Planner, Doug Robinson, Principal Planner, Annie Stillwell, Senior Planner, and Tammy, our illustrious Board Clerk. The way things go, we actually we have 2 public hearings tonight, but staff will present whatever item it is. We allow the applicant to speak. Anybody from the audience can then speak for or against that item. If you wish to speak on anything, please fill out a card and give it to Tammy. So we have your name and address for the record as speaking on a particular item. Your comments are restricted to 3 minutes. You're 6 minutes if you're representing a homeowner association or a group. We'll call your name and you come up and speak. We can question you as the board for some of your comments. Then we close the public comments. The applicant can then make a statement or rebut some of objectionable comments. Anything that is presented by any of the applicants or a speaker that is videos, presentations, or pictures or anything like that become part of the public record, so you have to leave those with us. Then the board will have a discussion. We'll make a motion to recommend approval or recommend denial, keeping in mind that the Planning and Zoning Board is only a recommending body. We recommend to the Board of County Commissioners, and then they take final action on whatever the application is. So even if we recommend denial, they could still approve, or vice versa. Okay, that pretty well covers that. So then, agenda-wise, let's see, we got to approve our proof of publication. So does I have a motion to approve the proof of publication?
I'll make a motion to approve publication.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, our first item on the agenda is a technical review item. It's the Bradbury PSP.
Excuse me, Chairman.
Minutes.
What?
The minutes need to be
Oh, I'm sorry.
approved. That's okay.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Got a second, and all those in favor?
Aye.
That was the approval of the November 1st minutes. Thank you for correcting me. Now our first item is a technical review item. It's the Bradbury PSP. Doug Robinson will present for us. A technical review item is not normally a public comment item, but we do allow public comments, if any. You're on, Doug.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Doug Robinson with Planning and Development. The applicant is requesting approval of the Bradbury preliminary subdivision plan. The future land use designation and zoning classification of the subject property is low-density residential and R1A. On October 10th, 2023, the Board of County Commissioners approved a rezone from A1 agriculture and R1A single-family dwelling to R1A single-family dwelling. The PSP proposes 18 single-family lots on approximately 6.67 acres with a maximum density of 2.7 dwelling units per net buildable acre. The minimum lot size is 9,000 square feet with a minimum lot width of 75 feet. The PSP complies with all the conditions of Chapter 35 of the Seminole County Land Development Code. All internal roads will be public, and actually going to make a correction here. The staff report I'd mentioned Seminole County is the utility provider when it's actually the city of Sanford, so I apologize. It was an error in the staff report. And public access would be provided from Tucker Drive. That concludes my presentation. Staff is recommending approval of the preliminary subdivision plan for the Bradbury subdivision, and I'm here if you have any questions, Mr. Chair.
Questions of Doug?
Yeah, I have one. This T at the end of the road, is that going to be fine for fire to turn around on?
Yeah, I mean, we have reviewed that. Fire's reviewed it, engineering, everybody's approved it.
Okay.
There's no access to the properties to the east from that T. There's only access to the properties to the west.
Okay.
That was the original landowner that's maintaining that access.
So there's going to be ample room for them to pull down, back up, and then pull back out if needed?
I don't want to speak for engineering, but I know they reviewed it, so.
They reviewed minimum size and all
Okay.
that, yeah,
All
okay.
right. Thank you. That was the only
Yes.
concern.
My pleasure.
This is, well, is anybody wishing to speak for or against this PSP? If not, you have to come up to the mic.
That's the
Okay.
applicant.
Oh, that's the applicant. You don't, do you have anything you want to add? Okay, thanks. So we'll entertain a motion unless anybody has any other comments.
I recommend the approval of the preliminary subdivision plan for Bradbury subdivision.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next item, now we start the public hearing items. Advanced auto body, small scale, future land use map amendment. Annie, you're going to do the presentation?
Yes. Good evening, Annie Silloway, Development Services Senior Planner. The applicant is requesting a small-scale future land use map amendment from commercial to industrial to correct the inconsistency between the commercial future land use and M1 industrial zoning district. The site is currently developed under the M1 industrial zoning classification as an auto body shop. Upon preliminary review of a proposed site plan application for an additional covered structure, staff determined that the existing commercial future land use is inconsistent with the existing M1 industrial zoning classification. Prior to approval of an additional development, the future land use must be brought into compliance. Staff finds the existing development of an auto body shop to be consistent with the M1 industrial zoning designation, and the requested industrial future land use is compatible with the Seminole County Comprehensive Plan, seeing that the site accesses onto an urban arterial road and is surrounded by industrial future land uses. Staff recommends the Board of County Commissioners adopt the proposed ordinance enacting a small-scale future land use map amendment from commercial to industrial for approximately .62 acres located on the west side of South Ronald Reagan Boulevard, approximately a half a mile south of North Street. And that concludes my presentation.
Any questions of Annie?
Yeah, Annie, you said they're going to put another building here?
It's going to be a covered patio area.
Okay.
Yeah, out
Okay,
back.
because I was going to say, they're going to have a tough time fitting another building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's squeezed in.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes,
Is the applicant present?
yes.
Do you have anything you wish to add, or
Sure.
please state your name and address?
My name is John Reynolds. I'm the applicant and also president of J-Char Consultants. My address is 312 Forest Avenue, Altamont Springs. With me this evening is the property and business owner, Chris Radosevich, who's sitting back in the back row. As far as the 1,800 square foot shed roof that we wish to build attached to his body shop, he owns all the adjacent properties, roughly 5 acres. And once we submitted the site plan showing the 1,800 square foot shed roof. That's when it was determined that the shed roof is now going on to other property that didn't have a same future land use. So before we can build this structure, we have to come in compliance with the future land use. I've read staff's comments, recommendations, and we're here to answer any questions y'all may have.
Thank you. Anybody from the public wishing to speak for or against this application? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Anybody else have any questions or comments?
No, it's pretty cut and dry.
Anybody want to make a motion?
Yeah, I recommend the Board of County Commissioners adopt the proposed ordinance enacting a small-scale future land use map amendment from commercial to industrial for approximately .62 acres on the west side of South Ronald Reagan Boulevard, approximately half mile south of North Street.
I second.
Are all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, thank you. All right, the next item on the agenda is the evaluation and appraisal report, our ear-based amendment that is required by the state. Tyler, are you going to make the presentation?
You're going to read this whole thing to us,
Yeah, we
right?
will do.
I'll try not to. Good evening. For the record, Tyler Reed, Senior Planner, Planning and Development Services. All right, so tonight I am presenting the final changes of the comprehensive plan based on the Evaluation Seminole 2045 plan and approved evaluation and appraisal year report of the comprehensive plan submitted last year in November. So everything that I'm presenting tonight has already been presented either to the Board of County Commissioners at a work session or to the LPA with our work session that we had back in October. So to reiterate, this is where we've been with the project so far. We've had 3 work sessions with the Board of County Commissioners. We've had a community meeting. We've had a work session with the LPA. And tonight, we're hoping to get a recommendation to authorize the transmittal of the ear-based amendments to the Seminole County Comprehensive Plan. So as you may have recalled from the Envision Seminole 2045, we have 5 different goals there listed there. Protect wildlife, maintain rural places, grow walkable, get active, and be green. Each of these came with a set of strategies and recommendations, some of which are directly related to the comprehensive plan, and some of which are outside the comprehensive plan or related to some elements that are currently being updated. So some of the major updates we have accomplished with the ear-based amendments include the removal of all non-policy sections and all elements to streamline and establish a policy-based comprehensive plan, a reorganization of the future land use element for a more coherent structure and to align with the vision goals. We incorporated the necessary updates from multiple departments, updated the sanitary element to align with the Florida statutes, and we included the recognition of rural enclaves outside of the east rural area. In addition to the vision-based elements, we are organizing the future land use element. The current organization of the future land use element is modeled on the Central Florida Regional Growth Vision How Shall We Grow plan. This plan was done on a regional level with a lot of community support. The proposed organization is modeled on the Envision Seminole 2045 plan, which allows us to target Seminole County specifically and meet specific needs of the community within the county. The county is dedicated to protecting our wildlife and natural resources, through the preservation and enhancement of natural habitats and sustainable management of vital natural resources, including air, water, energy, and land. We introduced new objectives and policies that support wildlife, natural resources, and sustainability to include a habitat policy, a dark skies policy, and green buildings policy, and reorganized each existing policies to improve cohesiveness and clarity. We are protecting Florida's environment and water systems through our updated policies reflecting areas within the Basin Management Action Plan and implementing enhanced septic tank requirements per the Florida statutes. The intent here is to encourage efficient use of land, housing choices, and economically vibrant, active places that enable multimodal transportation. Our goals were to streamline. The current comprehensive plan had a lot of existing language based on the How Shall We Grow plan, but there was a lot of repetition. We had standards for incentive programs that were fairly complicated, and frankly, a lot of developers and applicants just didn't take advantage of. And they just weren't using programs that were included with our MXD standards and the urban centers and corridors overlay bonus program. The county is committed to supporting rural lifestyles and landscapes and preserving the rural character through protecting rural neighborhoods, natural resources, and maintaining economic viable areas. As I mentioned earlier, the county will help preserve rural enclaves for the areas of the county outside of the East Rural area that have maintained their rural character. Another area we looked at was the revision of the cluster development policy and clarifying the existing language on clustering and density bonus in the R10 future land use. So there are two other goals within the FLU element that did not have any substantial changes, but we are highlighting them here to ensure our commitment to these goals, and that is the enhance existing places and property rights. So staff recommends authorizing transmittal of the EAR-based amendments to the Seminole County Comprehensive Plan, amending the text and exhibits of the capital improvements, conservation, drainage, future land use, housing, implementation, intergovernmental coordination, introduction, potable water, preface, property rights, public school facilities, recreation and open space, sanitary sewer, solid waste, and transportation elements as required by Chapter 163.3191 Florida statutes to the Florida Department of Commerce. And that concludes my presentation, and staff will be on hand to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Any questions of Tyler?
I do not.
No.
None there? When, just out of curiosity, when do you transmit to the state, and you anticipate transmitting to state?
So when do we?
Yeah, when do you anticipate?
So this is scheduled for hearing with the Board of County Commissioners on Tuesday, December 12th. So if the board votes to recommend
goes.
or votes to transmit, then we would send it to up to the state and to the different regional and review
Right.
agencies next week.
And normally they take, what, 4 or 5 months to comment, if any?
Usually 60 days,
Okay. That was just a curiosity question.
and then we'll bring it back to the board for adoption.
Thank you, Rebecca.
What was there any major changes? I noticed we have sanitary sewer and septic tanks, I'm presuming. What was the major change to
So
the septic tanks?
the major change with that, we were just going to comply with the Florida statute requirement, which requires the enhanced septic tank within the BMAP areas of the county.
That's correct. So there was a statute change, I believe, in 2022 that required the enhanced septic tanks on properties less than an acre within the BMAP areas, which cover the majority of Seminole County except for a portion that's located in the East Rural area, and then there's a small area near Longwood that's not included.
And what exactly is an enhanced septic tank?
So
Your
I believe there's
definition.
2 different types of enhanced septic tanks, and I think, it's about nutrient loading and making sure what I think is seeping back into the ground is more filtered. I don't know the exact details, but it's a health department requirement. So when someone goes to the health department and they're within that BMAP area and on property less than an acre, then the health department will require that enhanced septic tank.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. This is a public hearing. I don't see anyone wanting to speak for or against this, so I assume there isn't anybody, so we'll close the public hearing.
Good assumption.
Good assumption. And the board, have any other further comments, or anybody want to make a motion, or what would you like?
I'll make a motion to authorize transmittal of the EAR-based amendments to the Seminole County Comprehensive Plan, amending the text and exhibits of the capital improvements, conservation, drainage, future land use, housing, implementation, intergovernmental coordination, introduction, potable water, preface, property rights, public school facilities, recreation and open spaces, sanitary sewer, solid waste, and transportation elements as required by Chapter 163.3191, Florida statutes of the Florida Department of Commerce.
I'll second the motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second to recommend Board of County Commissioners adopt. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. There are no other business to come before the board. Rebecca, do you have anything you
I
want to add?
think you still have to do the
I'm sorry.
meeting schedule for 2024.
Oh, we got to adopt the
Yeah,
schedule.
adopt the
I
schedule.
have a few items under closing business that includes the schedule for next year, but if you want to, we can start with that if you would
Yeah,
like.
we can start with that. Anybody got any comment? You all got a copy of it. Anybody got a comment on the schedule? If not,
Since I won't be here, I don't get
move to
to
adopt. Somebody move it.
I'll make a motion to adopt the schedule for 2024.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? None?
So Chairman, the 2 dates that I did want to bring to your attention were July 3rd and September 4th, just to make sure there weren't any concerns about those 2 dates. July 3rd is obviously the day before Independence Day, before the 4th of July, and then September 4th, September 2nd is Labor Day. So September 4th, probably, I don't know if that presented an issue for anyone, but I thought maybe July 3rd.
Yeah, I think
matter to me.
we just leave them. I mean, as we get closer,
Okay.
if we see conflicts and/or people bring up issues, then we'll talk about it.
Okay,
But
sounds
let's
great.
leave it this way.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So in the other, I have a couple other items. We did, or we're in the process of hiring a new planning division manager to replace Mary Moskowitz. So we've offered the position to Dale Hall, and he's accepted. He is an AICP planner, and he comes from the city of Newport Richey, and he'll be starting at the beginning of January.
Great.
So if he's not here for P and Z in January, then I will introduce him at the Planning and Zoning
All
Commission
right,
meeting.
so we
in
can start
February.
training him in January.
Sounds great, yeah. And then Commissioner Zimbauer, District 2, was elected as the chairman of the Board of County Commissioners, so he'll be the chairman for BCC this next coming year. And as such, he has appointed a new member to the Planning and Zoning Commission. It was a rotating seat. Mr. Grundorf currently occupies that seat, and we thank you very much for your service.
I really appreciate being here and learned a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a lot of
So,
fun.
yeah, thank you very much.
Enjoyed
We
it.
really appreciate it.
Thanks for being part of it.
Yeah.
So Commissioner Zimbauer has appointed Lourdes Aguirre, and she's here today in the audience. I think she would like to introduce herself, and she'll be at our next meeting.
Good evening. And well, first of all, I want to thank you all for the service you provide to our to our county, and I'm honored to be appointed and privileged, and hopefully I will do a great job as you all have done for this beautiful county. I live in Geneva, and I'm just really blessed to be here.
Well, that's two of us, so we're getting up on them now.
There you go.
Welcome. We'll start training you at the next meeting, too.
Well, welcome. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Happy to be here.
And then just a couple of other items. We believe the other remaining district appointments will be announced at the upcoming meeting on Tuesday, December 12th. So if there are any other seats on the Planning and Zoning Commission that need to be announced, they'll do so on Tuesday. And then the elections for chairman and vice chairman for the Planning and Zoning
Next
Commission
meeting.
will take place in January. So it'll be on the January 10th meeting.
Do we have any vacancies now with?
Yeah, me.
Oh, okay, so
I'm up.
he might make it or not. I got it.
It's going to be close.
Well, it was close for me, so it should be close.
And that's all I have, and happy holidays, and thank you for your
Same
service
to you,
this
Rebecca.
past year.
Thank you.
Happy holidays to
Thank you to
everybody, and
everybody
thank
here
you so
tonight.
much for a
Thanks,
great
Dennis.
year.
Yeah, thank
We
you.
appreciate
Thanks
it.
again for the opportunity.
It was very nice working with you.
Very
Yeah.
helpful.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see everybody.
Desmond,
in
thank you for everything you do, keeping us out of trouble, Tony, especially you for keeping us out of trouble.
You all were an easy bunch.
I move the meeting be adjourned. There we go.